Hello, EndgameRadioers. This is Evil Zug. I'm here live at Penny Arcade Expo 2007 with Noah Ward from EVE Online. We're here to talk about EVE. We talk about it frequently on the show. It's one of our favorite subjects in terms of community-driven games and sort of sandbox games. So the first question to you, Noah, is one of the things we like about EVE is sort of the community base. Yeah. So now, understandably, getting new players is always a priority. One thing you guys do, present yourselves very, make it very plain and simple English, how hardcore the PvP is in this game. Very cutthroat, but at the same time, that could be kind of intimidating for new players. So what kinds of new systems do you have in the game that would sort of help new players in the game without getting squished the first 5 minutes they step into the game?
I think the best thing to help new players is really join the corporation, a multiplayer corporation, because that's really where you're going to learn about, other humans, interacting with them, and if any questions, the core members can help. So, and also the newbie corporation you start out in, there's a lot of people there who are veterans who like to stick around and
So there is sort of a default corporation that you slip right into in the beginning and then you can pick your way. So what kind of, is there any sort of is it just forum-based or some sort of chat channels where you can kind of shop around and tell what kind of communities are out there? Or?
Well, we're working on making more tools so the corporations can advertise themselves. It's like looking for group or like looking for forum. We don't really have in-game quite so many tools right now, so we're just going to forums and there's a forum where you can read about corporations and they can but, more around the space, and, corporations are always looking for members, so that's it.
So, and I noticed the sort of the physical layout of the universe. The center seems to be a little more strict and regulated.
Right.
Policed, if you will.
Yeah, that's kind of the safe zone.
Right.
As you move outward, you get to completely lawless.
Sure. Okay. And then that's set up by the whatever people that sort of occupy and plant the flags down.
Yeah, that's kind of where all the political stuff happens. It's kind of out there.
So now speaking of politics, one of the things that EVE has always sort of amazed me is that the players themselves sort of create the lore of the game. So in other words, you guys don't necessarily have as much lore sort of delivered constantly into the game as other games do. When a new expansion comes out, it's about a new story, a new chapter in the book. Where you guys have, it took me a while to figure it out, but I was talking to a player and you guys have cinematics up and stories and things, and those are all completely player created, the wars and the conflicts. What kind of undertaking is that to sort of document all that information?
Well, we have a really great volunteer team that does that, they work fusion quarters, and then they make these posts about that stuff. But I think one of the things that really drives the whole players making the story is the fact that we only have one server cluster. So it's not a sharded world. So if a corporation or alliance or even one person does something heroic or newsworthy, it's the entire player base affected by that, because it's not just one guy got the blue armor on this shard. It's something, it's a special thing for the entire server.
That's really cool. Especially with some of the bigger controversies that have come up. One of which being the guy that started the bank and then took all the money. I guess we have links to all these things on our site. We talked about quite a bit. Or the other one where the team infiltrated the other corporation for 6 months and then blew up the corporation. Those kinds of things are just. It seems like so much fun. So another thing now, in lieu of that, what kinds of things are in the game so that someone who doesn't necessarily have a lot of time to invest in the game, how can they have a good time versus someone who can sort of invest a lot of time?
Well, one of the things that really sets EVE apart is the skill training system. So there's no concept of levels anymore. You just pick a skill and train it. Pick whatever skill it is you want to train. That trains in real time and it trains when you're offline. So you just log in, pick what you want to, what your character is skilled at, and then if you only have 20 minutes a week to play. When you come back, your character will have skilled up on something, so you have something new to play with, and you get back to the game. So and one of the other things is if you do like trade or manufacturing, those types of things continue while you're offline too. So you set up buy and sell orders, you set up a manufacturing job that's going to run a lot of runs, and then you just have to come in briefly and put stuff in the market that you just build, and you don't have to sit there grinding away.
That's interesting. So what kinds of things would you say that that you would say that from when the game first came out to now, what kinds of evolutions have the game done?
A lot has changed. When the game was released, it was just a map and some asteroid fields everywhere, and there was no political structure. And it was, and all this stuff's kind of grown organically, and we've been kind of trying to nurture the evolution of things. So when players started to form alliances, then we introduced the alliance system and kind of formalized that. And when players started to conquer space, then we brought in system sovereignty. And as that evolved, we introduced constellation sovereignty. And so we've been trying to embrace, like we've been watching like what are the players doing in our game,
right,
and what is it that they want to do, and then we try to give them features in the game that will allow them to like formalize.
What would you say one of the bigger sort of significant things that players have done that has influenced the game in terms of an actual release concept of the game?
I don't know. Yeah, like political structures and like wars and taking control of space.
So then the last question, what kinds of things are in the new expansion? And in general, after that, the general concept of the expansion that you do to feed into the game?
Expansion?
The most recent one.
Well, there was Revelations 2 that we released that we typically do. We have 3 expansions every 6 months as just part of the and Revelations 2 is the latest one, but we're also patching on Tuesday. I'm going to release Revelations 2, which is balance fixes, and probably the biggest feature of that is the capital industrial ship. So we've got the capital ship, so this is the first, massive ship for the industrial side. But prior to that, the Revelations 2, the biggest thing in that was probably constellation software and Outpost upgrades. And Outpost is a player-owned space station, and with sovereignty of constellation, as you build it up, you can upgrade your Outpost with better stuff. And this also leads to siege warfare, because as your enemy builds up this constellation, some upgrades on its outpost. You want to go in there and take out the system. So it gives the alliance more things to fight over, more scale to the warfare, just taking out their
Very cool. So then what would you say would be some exciting things to look forward to that you can talk about?
Well, there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. The upcoming graphic upgrade is going to be huge for us because he's won a lot of awards in the past for how great the graphics are, but we really want to stay on the cutting edge, so we're redoing the graphic engine and all the art aspects of the game. We're going to have new higher resolution, we're going to higher resolution, bigger just it's going to look amazing. And so that's what we're excited about. The next thing a lot of us are excited about is factional warfare, which is structured PvP, whereas the alliance Right.
Stepping away.
Yeah, so you should go out and pew pew, as they say.
Yes, pew pew, very much. So speaking of pew pew, we must take leave now and go pew pew some more. Penny Arcade Expo 2007. I am EvilZug. This is Noah. Thank you very much for the interview. We definitely keep in mind there's always a free trial. You can definitely just go. I think it's just eve-online.com. And they have a free trial. If not, you can purchase the game right there free. The client's pretty small.
It's about 600 megs.
Okay. Relatively speaking, you know, BioShock demo was about 1.5 gigs or whatever. So pretty awesome though. Very cool game. We'll definitely be talking hopefully more in the future with you guys. And great. Thank you very much.